I'm excited to announce that we have ported the SQLite engine to Windows Phone and to Windows Phone 8, so that you basically, a developer can take the SQLite engine, just like I described, as a shared component, and use it in both a Windows Phone 8 application as well as a Windows 8 application. So what they can do is go to SQLite.org, download one code base, and use it in both platforms. We have also added several multitasking capabilities to Windows Phone 8. I'm going to talk about two in particular. First, we have deeply integrated VoIP and video chat. VoIP is voice over IP, and also video support deeply into our operating system. This means that a VoIP call feels just like a regular cell call. But what do I mean by that? So imagine you got a Skype call. You get the exact same UI that shows up when you get a cell call. This is not emulated by the developer. This is our dialogue, and it also will run above lock. So they could simply hit the answer button, and they would go to the Skype application, and they would continue their call. Now, this also integrates with the features on the phone, like audio routing and answer above lock. Well, what is audio routing? This means that if you're using Bluetooth to either a headset or if you're using hands-free, in-car audio, it will just work. Developers don't have to do all of that coding or figure out how to thoroughly test it. It just works using the same functionality built onto the phone. VoIP apps will also continue to run in the background. So say you want to go look at a text message, you'll see that the same toast that shows up under a normal call is also showing up here while the VoIP call is going. And you can continue that conversation. Again, all the audio routing just continues to work. And then if you click on the toast, you go right back to the Skype application. Now, this is not just something available to Skype or to Microsoft applications. All developers get access to this built-in support, and they can build whatever applications they want to using voice chat or video chat now. The second feature in multitasking I want to talk about is background location. Location is a critical part of the experience on a mobile phone. Now we allow these applications that use location to run in the background. Well, let me give you a concrete example of an application, which is a navigation application. So if I want to go find a restaurant, and it's kind of navigating me there, but I get a text message, and well, maybe they changed locations. I want to be able to go to that and look at that text message, but continue to get directions so I don't miss my turns. And that will now work automatically for developers. They don't have to do any real work. If it's a location-based application, we will run it in the background, and they will continue to get that experience. Of course, they can always go back to the application and continue to get a visual navigation solution as well, and without any change, it'll just continue naturally into the foreground now. We do this in a responsible way. We monitor battery, as well as end-user experience, and make sure that the end user never gets a bad experience on their phone. Now, it's a little hard to show and demonstrate, moving a location since I'm standing up here on stage. So we have a video that demonstrates background location with INRIX.
Hey, I don't...
Yeah, I'm just checking traffic first on this cool app.
Oh, right on.
Anna, there's been a serious accident on I-80 West. Would you like to use your alternate Market Street route?
Sure.
Your new INRIX arrival time is 6:02 p.m. Would you like to text Miles and let him know?
Yes.
Okay, text sent. Enjoy your drive.
So while we saw background location, we also saw one other feature in there, and that is speech. Speech has always been an integral part of the Windows Phone experience. Since Windows Phone 7, we've had the ability to launch applications using speech, something Siri is just now learning to do. However, we're not stopping there. We're going to take this to the next level. We've been working with Audible to help and see what they could do to speech enable their application. As you know, they are the internet's largest publisher of audiobooks. I'm not going to use one of our engineering devices, but for the developers out there, I'm going to give them a kind of a look at our new emulator that is built on Hyper-V and running on Windows 8. Audible, play Game of Thrones.
Searching for St. Louis, Missouri.
I'll try that again. Audible, play Game of Thrones.
Playing Game of Thrones.
Next chapter.
Heard you say next chapter.
Somewhere beyond the sunset, across the narrow sea, lay a land of...
Pause.
Heard you say pause.
So, as you can see, not only was I able to launch the application using speech, after a little glitch there, but I also was able to give it a command and control its behavior when I started it. Then, from within the application, you may not be able to see, but I was using UI in the application, I was able to give it a set of commands to control its behavior, like next chapter and pause. But we didn't stop there either. We want to do something a bit more complex. Search.
Heard you say search. What would you like to search for?
Apollo.
I found one result in your library. Failure is not an option. Mission control from Mercury to Apollo 13 and beyond. Would you like to listen to it?
Yes.
Given my aircraft test flight background,
Pause.
Heard you say pause.
So, it may not have been as easy to see there, but I basically had a conversation with my app. I started it by asking it to search, and we continued with a two-way interactive conversation. This was not just with the phone, but this was with my application. And then I can continue to have that two-way conversation, and I got to exactly what I wanted to without having to touch the screen. We are excited to see what developers have come up with, because this is available to every developer. We have the ability to have speech-enabled applications that can have conversations with each end user, and they can go and use their creativity to take this technology to the next level. As is probably already showing on my screen here, we are excited to announce that Audible is going to be available for Windows Phone 7.5, that you can go to our marketplace and download it later today. Now I want to focus more on developers and tell them a little bit about what's coming in Windows Phone 8. First, thank you. Thank you for building great Windows Phone applications. We appreciate and respect and value the investment and time that you've put into building those applications and making them great. So Windows Phone 7 and 7.5 applications will run on Windows Phone 8. Also, this technology I talked about, compilation in the cloud, we are going to compile every existing Windows Phone application in our marketplace so that Windows Phone 8 end users get the benefit of every application being faster. And developers will not have to do anything. They don't have to resubmit their applications or do any work. It'll just be done for them. Also, Visual Studio 2012 will support development for both Windows Phone 7.5 and Windows Phone 8 applications. And of course, they already support Windows 8 applications. This means, as a developer, you can go and use one tool to build for all the platforms that matter to you. We also believe in developer choice. We believe in one app model, but allowing you to have the right technologies for the right parts of your application. So first, we will continue to support XAML, so you can build your Metro-style UI, and you can use C# and VB code. We also now support native C and C++ code, and we will continue to support our HTML5 browser control that's based on IE10. But this is not a hard choice. As a developer, they have to pick one technology, and their whole app is in that one technology. Developers can mix and match these technologies. Let me give you a concrete example. If a developer is going to build a game, they may want the game UI to be very metroized, and so they would use C# with XAML. But they want realistic gameplay, so they've decided to build that with C++ and DirectX. But they also want to say, hey, have a leadership board so they can show the high scores. But they have a website that does that. They can take that website and host it directly inside of their application. This allows developers to use the right technology for the right task inside of their application. It means that they don't have to change the code. They pick and choose the technology that's right for them. We also know that there are a lot of developers who want to build for both Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8. And we want to give a little bit of guidance to help make choices that will make that easier. We suggest one of two approaches for developers. First, if you're building an app, we recommend using XAML with C# or VB code. As I've said, we now support the same .NET engine that exists on Windows 8, so it's easier to share more of your .NET code, C# or VB. For your UI, we recommend that you optimize it for the screen size. So we recommend using Windows 8 Metro UI for Windows 8 for a larger screen size, and Windows Phone 8 Metro for building for our smaller screen size. For games, we recommend that you use Direct3D with C or C++ code. You can then take the application and target our shared native API, and any code in there will run identical on both platforms. You may choose to use different APIs that allow you to customize the experience per platform, but you can also use a shared core to simplify development. Then you need to take into account the resolution scaling and use the right scaling. So if you're on a high-end desktop, you may use higher resolution assets, and on Windows Phone, use lower resolution assets because the screen is smaller. For those who are building mobile-ready websites, we recommend that you optimize for IE10, but make sure you design for a mobile screen size. So let me make a transition and talk about our enterprise support. Windows Phone 8 is enterprise ready. But what does that actually mean? Well, let's talk about the fundamentals, because in business, the fundamentals count. First, Windows Phone 8 has a complete security platform, from secure boot to full device encryption with BitLocker technology. Companies can know that their corporate assets are safe on a Windows Phone. We also now support a flexible app distribution model that is business controlled. Each enterprise can decide which applications and how they want in their store and to their employees, as well as how to distribute those applications. They can use cloud infrastructure. They can use on-premise intranet support only. It is completely up to each and every company. We also will support